When did you realize your parents gave up on parenting? My teacher woke me up in class with drool dripping from my lips, and the final exam paper stuck to the side of my face. It was every student's worst nightmare. Time's up, she said, looking at me with concern. I'm so sorry. The panic hit instantly. This exam was 40% of my grade, the one exam that determined whether I could enter pre-med or not. I held onto the paper, tears stinging my eyes. Please, just a few more minutes. I know I can finish it. My teacher gave a heartbroken look. I can't let you do that. It's against our academic honesty policy for finals. No retakes, no exceptions, she said gently, and took a half-answered exam from my hands. My best friend Mina found me crying in the bathroom. What happened? You've been studying so hard for this. I cried even harder. It's my family again. Last night, Mom made me go to my brother's therapy appointment since the therapist doesn't have an ASL interpreter available. I begged Mom to just take him this time, but she got angry. Told me I was selfish and lucky I wasn't the one who was disabled, unlike my brother. Whoa, what the heck? It's not your fault your brother was born with a hearing disability, so why all of a sudden it's all on you? Like, don't your parents know ASL too? I opened the stall door and hugged her, explaining how my parents just gave up when they found out I picked it up quickly when I was 8. You're so good at it. Just tell us what he needs, okay? They told me, and I did. From birthday parties, to schools, to doctor visits, I showed up to interpret, even if it meant that I missed school dances for his IEP meetings, or missed prom night to translate to my parents what he was feeling when he got sick. But on days where I really needed a parent around, my parents weren't around either, always using Justin as an excuse. They didn't go to my band performances because it wasn't fair if Justin can't hear it. They didn't go to my awarding ceremony, my talent show performance, not even my elementary school spelling bee championship. Mina ran her hands through my hair with a frown. Isn't it weird how they care so much about him, but they need your help to do it, and when it comes to you, all of a sudden they're absent? Her question hit me like a bullet. When I got home, my parents began yelling at me out of nowhere. Why are you home so late? Do you know how long we've been waiting for you to translate this therapy report to your brother? Dad yelled, aggressively sliding a chair across the floor. I stared back at him and Mom and shook my head, locking myself in the bedroom while they banged on it and yelled at me through the door. I stayed home from school for 3 days, too overwhelmed by everything, and not once did my parents check on me. That's when the guidance counselor called in a mandatory family meeting. My parents arrived irritated, checking their watches. We both had to leave work for this, so make it snappy, Dad complained. Your daughter missed class 3 times in a row, and before that, her grades had been dropping apparently due to exhaustion, she said, flipping through the school records. Mom rolled her eyes. She just needs better time management. She's logged 20 hours just last week interpreting medical appointments. Well, she's lying. You both have had 0 hours for the past 10 years. When did you last communicate directly with Justin? The silence stretched uncomfortably long. That's not fair, Mom finally said. ASL is too hard to learn, and yet your daughter mastered it as an 8-year-old? My parents stared at me, not an ounce of guilt on their faces. Let me ask another question. When was the last time you went out to do something fun for your kids? And I mean both kids. When they couldn't answer, the counselor turned to me with a gentle smile. When was the last time they did something nice for you, dear? I felt tears well up in my eyes. I don't remember. Maybe when I was 6? The counselor leaned back in her chair, removing her glasses to wipe away her own tear. Tell me, what will you do when your daughter has to leave home? To get a job? Maybe to get married? She can take him with her, Mom said without thinking. The room went silent at the absurdity of her statement. Or hire an interpreter or learn ASL, I said simply. You know we can't afford an interpreter. Justin, who had been quiet the entire time, got up and waved his hands around. He pulled out a small whiteboard from his backpack and wrote in clear letters, BTW, I can just write. Everyone stared at my parents, who looked completely stupefied. Justin wiped it off and wrote again. I can also text and type. I can dance. I can do anything too. So please, no more fighting, and give sis a break. He smiled and hugged me, and just like that, things got better. My teacher gave me a ton of extra assignments to help bring my grades back up, and I managed to enter the pre-med program under amazing recommendations. I moved into the dorms and spent my time studying when someone knocked on the door. I opened it and gasped when I saw Justin standing there with the biggest smile, whiteboard tucked under his arm. He managed to take a 3-hour bus ride completely alone, just using his GPS and whiteboard. We called our parents, who were understandably panicked and proud. Through tears, they clumsily signed, "We miss you."